Okay. Now I just had to take a look at this video. And this video is entitled, let's see, where is it? Sheryl Sandberg warns of the Meetoo backlash. And for those that don't know, the Meetoo movement is simply a movement that allows women to speak up against being a victim of sexual harassment. Now, the only problem is you got women who just throw harassment complaints out there to just about any and every man, even though the man didn't do anything. So now I'm going to watch this episode. I'm going to look at this clip, and I'm going to pause it from time to time and give my thoughts and opinions on what these women are saying. All right, let's go.
Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg, who wrote a book called Lean In, that was a big hit. She says that she's worried about a backlash against the Me Too movement because men will be scared to hire women for fear of a sexual harassment claim. So are guys going to take a page from Mike Pence and every day will be take your wife to work day?
I probably would.
The wives can be harder sometimes.
I mean, it's really, people are now worried that men will just say, you know what, these women are bringing lawsuits, let's not hire them. You think that's going to happen?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, the answer is not hiring women. The answer is not sexually harassing them.
I know.
Okay, then. I understand all that, but there's only one problem. What the hell is sexual harassment in your opinion, okay? I mean, we all know what sexual harassment means, but we don't know what it is. See, there's a difference between what something means and what something truly is. We all know what sexual harassment means. It means the unlawful touching or making unwanted advances on somebody of the opposite sex without their consent. That's what sexual harassment means. So, touching a woman without her consent, saying inappropriate, crude comments, that's sexual harassment. But what is sexual harassment exactly? That's something totally different because it could be anything to anybody. I mean, for example, something as simple as giving a woman a hug could be considered sexual harassment. Something as simple as saying you look beautiful today may be considered sexual harassment. So we don't really know for sure what sexual harassment is. So it's not that easy for men to just not harass women altogether. Continue.
It's quite simple. It's a real question. I've had this conversation with several male friends who basically say, look, we work in a law firm or we work in a hospital. How many doctors end up marrying nurses? How many lawyers end up marrying colleagues or assistants or whatever? Where do you draw the line? I think men are nervous. I've told my boyfriend, every picture you take from now on, I want you like this. Mm-hmm. I want to see both your hands, both your feet.
No, I don't think that's a good one.
Oh, that one, no? That
looks
like
you're. Never mind.
He should be like this, maybe. Nobody would buy that.
Very funny.
I had the same concern, though. I said to Manny, when you are examining a female patient or any patient, you do bring a nurse into the room with
What
you.
What kind of doctor is he?
Orthopedic surgeon. And I was like, because, he's got to check out people's hips and it's close.
This is exactly that fear has kept us silent for so long.
Absolutely.
No more.
He's very, very
I think
careful.
you should tell him to stick
But
to
the whole thing is.
Okay, what the hell did that just say? That's the kind of fear that's kept us silent for so long. Get the hell out of here with that shit. What the hell are y'all ladies afraid of? A mature adult will report sexual harassment the second it happens, not keep it to herself out of fear. What are you so afraid of? Because seriously, a man can't just assume that, you're not comfortable with him. He can't just assume that anything he says and does could contribute to sexual harassment. A man can't just assume these things. They have to know what exactly sexual harassment truly means. Now let's listen what this is. It's a sad truth. It isn't fair, but it's correct. Now men in power are going to be nervous and try to protect themselves against women. Yeah, you damn right they're going to try to protect themselves against women. Why the fuck wouldn't they? Why should I put my career or my livelihood at risk over some woman, knowing that anything I say to her or do to her can be taken out of context and viewed as sexual harassment? So, we're going to take steps to protect ourselves.
Is riddled with danger. If you get a massage, there's only a massage therapist in there with you, for example. If you get a facial,
and that's another thing. Some guys have jobs that require them to touch people. I don't care if you're a massage therapist, you work with your massage therapist working at a spa, a nurse at the doctor's office, whatever. You're going to be required to touch certain people, the same sex, the opposite sex, whatever. So you can't say that you were uncomfortable. So people can't even do their damn jobs that require physical touching without worrying about having a false allegation of harassment put on them. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I know. Dating at work can be.
And listen to this shit. If men behave themselves, then they won't have an issue. Women should not be punished twice. Okay, so again, like I said, we don't know what sexual harassment is. It can mean different things to different women. So how the hell are we supposed to behave ourselves if we don't know what the hell we're doing is wrong? Second of all, a man doesn't have to do much of anything to get a harassment complaint put on. It's females out there that just flat out crazy. Some females will beat themselves, bruise themselves, and say a man did it, even though the man didn't really do shit. So again, we don't know what sexual harassment is, or what acts contribute to sexual harassment in the minds of some women. And that's a problem right there. So how can we behave ourselves if we don't know what's acceptable and what's unacceptable?
Suicide. I know when I was at a law firm, I was dating a fellow associate, same level, and my father said, for him it's a conquest, for you it's professional suicide.
I dated a guy for 4 years, but he disclosed it. He was someone he's a lawyer, and I thought at the time he was overthinking it. I was like, sweetie, come on. But he did, and that was smart. I think if you disclose it, because I agree with you, so many times, especially maybe everywhere, but I know in New York we live at our jobs. I didn't have time outside of work, so that became my.
I mean, you meet people at work, your peers.
But it's
you
so
fall in love, and you
dangerous
get
right
married.
now.
That's how
Supervisor.
And that's a valid point right there. Because I've been told that a lot of relationships often start in the workplace. And like this woman said, she doesn't have much of a life outside of her work. She's always at work. I can vouch for myself. I work at a freaking airport, so you know I'm at work 5 days a week, making money. I barely go out the house on my work days, so I don't have a life outside of my job, barely like I used to. A lot of romances start in the workplace, but now thanks to this Meetoo stuff, men are just going to start avoiding relationships with women altogether in the workplace. Or better yet, avoid them altogether as a whole. Just say hi and keep on moving and leave it at that.
Internet.
But don't you think it's dangerous right now for people to be? I don't think it's dangerous right now for people to sort of date at work, and we all hear rumors of people within offices who date around a lot. In the office, I've certainly worked places where people were dating amongst everyone. I think those days are long gone. I don't care how attracted. I mean, I'm married now, but how attracted I was to someone who I worked with, I would not touch this right now for a lot of different reasons. Because I think it's as you said, it might be career suicide one way or the other.
It was a career suicide for Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough.
Oh, hey now. That's true. But
if you can stand behind every action you have, because the behavior that led to and again, this is about 10 years ago, the relationship I had, if I sat in a room and was questioned about how I acted or he was, it was in line with my own integrity. So nothing I did was inappropriate.
Isn't it about the power dynamic? Like if you're dating someone the same level, that's one thing. But if you're dating your supervisor, I think that has to be.
But when they get what they're doing.
Yep, hypergamy at its finest. That's what it's called, Missy. Hypergamy. Dating up. A subordinate dating a supervisor or trying to date a supervisor, that's hypergamy. And that's what women are afraid of nowadays because it's Me Too bullshit. They can no longer practice hypergamy or dating up. Good point.
There still has to be something more there. So just the interaction or saying if you'd ever be interested in, I'm not saying right now, Megan, I know it's tepid. It's not any ink you want to dip in is not the company ink, but I just mean the way I handled myself was defensible, and he too. We didn't do anything inappropriate. So I think when you get called into HR, I don't think that dating is over.
You know what about college? You're not supposed to date a fellow student either?
But there's all this talk about consent, which I think is a great topic that we're discussing. But I will say, if I were in college and I were about to have sex with someone, I might be can we sign this legal document that says it was both consensual, nothing's happened? I'm serious. I think that is where we are at.
She makes a valid point there. That's kind of where we are now. If you do want to engage in sexual intercourse with a beautiful woman, you may have to sign some kind of document saying that she gave consent, that she allowed this shit to happen. That way she can't run around telling police, oh, this guy raped me, or this guy sexual harassed me, yada, yada, yada. You signed on the dotted line saying you wanted to do this, so there's no getting out of it. It's not your word against mine kind of bullshit. So that's kind of where we are now, but who's going to want to do that?
I like that. Well, I'm just saying, there's so much right now. It's so dangerous. But I will say, I'm sharing
Let's do that.
But on Cheryl Sandberg's point, there is a difference between hiring women and being just a man who can be around women and be respectful, and bringing an intern into your office and pulling down your pants and showing your genitals. Like, come on.
Come on, right. Okay. All right. What about holiday parties? They're saying they're eliminating holiday parties.
Nothing
I mean,
good
that's when you
happens at
really
those
make your
holiday
move.
parties.
I love those holiday parties.
Well, I got news for you ladies. No more Christmas parties for y'all. Again, thanks to Meetoo movement, Christmas parties are now being canceled because it's a breeding ground for women and men to interact with each other. But they not going to want to do that because of this Meetoo bullshit. Seriously, no man's going to go to a Christmas party and try to say hi to you only for you to put an allegation on him. Why? Because you didn't find this man attractive. You can't see yourself sleeping with this man, so you think it's cool to just put a harassment complaint. It's not enough to just say, oh, let's be friends, or let's keep it professional. Now you got to throw him under the bus with a fucking harassment complaint. No man wants to do that. We're trying to protect ourselves. That's what y'all need to understand.
I'm like Bridget Jones with the reindeer.
When the fun starts.
Nothing good happens. Holiday parties
turning into a holiday breakfast.
They shouldn't have mistletoe. Why would you have mistletoe at a holiday party?
Because it's a Christmas decoration.
No.
Mistletoe? Really? Okay, that's it. And that's the video in a nutshell. So apparently they're not happy with how this Meetoo movement is going. And I think I proved my points quite clearly. See you next time. I'm out.